What's going on, everyone? So one player I'd like to see the Lakers potentially go target, right? Via trade, maybe you can work some out. Maybe you can even get some other pieces, is Isaac Okoro. So Isaac Okoro was on the Cleveland Cavaliers and was recently traded for Lonzo Ball to the Chicago Bulls, right? Lakers really need perimeter 3-and-D depth. Right? And Isaac Okoro could be that guy for a team like the Lakers. He's still young. He's 24 years old. He'll be 25 basically midway through next season. So he's a piece that, if it works out, could be great for the Lakers going forward. He is a guy that it can be a little inconsistent at times. Right? There are games and moments where you watch Isaac Okoro and you're like, dude, this guy is great. Best 3-and-D guy in the league. And then you watch games where it's like, we'd probably like to have this game back type thing, right? But it goes into the youth and inexperience stuff. Like him playing a role, even with Cleveland, was kind of all over the place at times with the role and the opportunities and the minutes and whether you're starting or coming off the bench. Like, he was kind of all over the place. Where I think if he's a guy that is getting the consistency, getting the consistent role, playing alongside guys like Luka, like LeBron, right? Isaac Okoro, I do think, is a guy that could really fit in and kind of solve a lot of the Lakers' issues. Come in and be a guy that can defend 1 through 3 for you, be a guy that can hit the open 3-point shot, right? What does Chicago kind of value him at, right? Is he a guy that Chicago is looking at as a foundation piece, or is he looked at as a guy that they're like, hey, this was somebody that we can use to that might yield us a better return than Lonzo, right? Or a guy that, hey, we'd love to keep, but we're not against trading. Like, that's the thing, because if he's a guy that they're looking at as like a foundation piece going forward, might be a little tough. But they also have several guys that are exactly like Isaac Okoro, right? Because Isaac Okoro's 6'5", right? Really kind of that 2-3 guy more than like a 3-4 guy. But they have guys like, again, Ayo Dosunmu, right? Like, they have multiple guys out there that can kind of play. I mean, even like a Kobe White, you could slot in at the 3 at times, right? They're going to have to kind of figure out some of these guards and these pieces, right? You're already seeing them shopping Ayo Dosunmu, who is a guy that I would love to have. I mean, if you could get Ayo and Isaac Okoro, like, here's connect, because again, those are two guys that are still young, plenty of upside. Both guys are 25 years old, could be foundation pieces. I mean, you could slot both those guys alongside Luka long term, give you the guard depth at least right now, and either guy could slot in at the 3 and defend, 1 through 3 for you. Like, Lakers need those guys. They need those kind of scrappy guys that can go out there and do multiple things, right? So to me, I look at it as like, okay, Chicago has a couple guys already that kind of can come in, fill that role for them, play that role for them. So would they be willing to do something like that? Could you maybe do an Isaac Okoro, Ayo Dosunmu, and a Jalen Smith, right? And kind of solve like a backup center, get you 2 kind of perimeter guys that can slot in, whether you're the starter coming off the bench, right? And start giving you some real depth to this roster, to this team. I don't hate it. Right. And also, it's like with Isaac Okoro for Chicago, is it one of those things where it's like we never really had him, so you know what I mean? Like, it's like they have him, but they haven't had him yet, right? He's not on the roster. They haven't gone through training camp. He hasn't actually played for them, and it's like, well, we have like 5 other guys that can play and do the same things he does and plays the role, so we'd be open to trading him. I would be looking to try to get Isaac Okoro in like a package deal, not just like straight up, like, hey, let's go trade for Okoro. To me, I'd look at it as like, again, can you get an Okoro, a Jalen Smith, or an Ayo Dosunmu? If you can do something like that, then that is where I think you really have the value. Because you also look at Isaac Okoro and kind of the financials, right? He's making $11 million this year, and then almost 12 million, just shy of 12 million next year, right? So you could add him and like an Ayo Dosunmu and then like a Jalen Smith, and it would cost you, I don't know, it's like roughly like 30 million, something like that. I think it's a little more than, because Ayo's like, I think 7, let's call it 8 million. Smith is like, I think another like 9 million, right? So let's call it 30 million. Well, you could get there, right? You could do like, what if you did like a Rui, especially if you get Jalen Smith, Ayo, and a Okoro. Like, what if you did like Rui, Gabe Vincent, or if they want Kleba, fine. Do Rui, Kleba, and a potential like Dalton Connect. Now you're getting back 3 guys that are all 25 that can all slot in various roles and ways for you. Like, that's where I think it makes it, like, I would try to rope in Okoro into a trade and deal rather than like just trading for him individually. Now you could just do like a Gabe Vincent for Okoro swap, or like a Maxi Kleba, because if they're like, hey, we have an abundance of guards, maybe you're doing something where you're sending out a Kleba, getting back an Isaac Okoro, and giving up 2 pick swaps or something, or maybe you're second like a pick swap or something, or 2 pick swaps. Like, the problem is, like, what is Okoro's value? Because he's not like, if he was like 6'7", I think his value would be much higher, right? But he's like 6'5", 6'6". So he's a guy that's like, he's a little undersized for the 3, but he has the 6'8", 6'9" wingspan, so he has the defensive versatility to kind of match up with those guys. Got good size, good strength, good weight to him, right? Like, he has the things that allow him to kind of match up tool-wise, right? But it's very different when you actually are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", right? Wingspan's one thing, and actual size is another. So, again, he's kind of that, like, tweener, right? He's kind of that in-between guy where he's, probably best as, like, your 2 guard, but you can slot him at your 3 and he can still defend and be that 3-and-D guy. I mean, again, you did it with Cleveland, right? Slotting in and playing the 3 with Cleveland a lot. So that's kind of where I look at with him. But as far as like the production stuff, again, he's 24 years old, won't be 25 till January 26th, so literally halfway through the season, right before the trade deadline. He's a guy that lines up with that 2027, right? Lakers want to preserve cap space between now and 2027. If he works, great, and give him a new extension. If he doesn't, just kind of let him go, and now you have all the cap space to go sign that other star or whatever the Lakers are looking to do. But as far as production, last year, 55 games played for Cleveland, 22 games started, averaged 19 minutes per game, which was the fewest minutes of his career with Cleveland. All his seasons have been with Cleveland, by the way. Fewest minutes of his career. Now, that in part was that they went and got Hunter, and they had several guys that kind of played his role. So you saw him slowly start to fade back, right? Like, you kind of look at the minutes, it's like he played 32 minutes, 29 minutes, 22 minutes, 27 minutes, and then 19 minutes. So he's kind of had this like flip-flop with them as far as like, which is what I was talking about earlier, right? He's had this like these inconsistencies and these like, okay, you're going to play 20 minutes a night. Now you're going to play 30 minutes a night. Now you're going to play 10 minutes this game, and then you're going to play 25 this game. Like, yeah, I think he'd be much better if he was in a real role. If he actually got the real opportunities to, like, hey, you're even in a backup role, right? You're a primary backup 2, right? Or a primary backup 3, and you're going to get 20 minutes a night, every night, like clockwork. If you're in a Laker jersey, you're playing 20 minutes, right? And this is the role we're going to have you play. This is what we need from you. Like, I do think he can deliver on that. I do think he can be impactful in that regard and in that manner. But again, 55 games played, 22 games started, 19 minutes per game, got 4.9 field goal attempts, which is the second fewest of his career. He did have that one season where he took 4.7, shot 46.4% from the field. He shot 37.1% from three-point range on 2.7 attempts. The previous year, he was 39% on 3.1 attempts. Right, so can he get back to that, playing alongside a guy like a LeBron and Luka Doncic? Right, the quality of looks that he's going to get, the quality of opportunity that he would get as far as shooting the 3 ball. Could he get back to that 29% range? 39%, not 29, 39% range. And then also, even if he was 37, 38%, like, that's fine. It's not terrible, right? Like, this above league average. League average last year, I think, was like 36 and some change. So he'd be over league average. Guy that can knock down the 3 ball with some consistency, put some pressure, play some defense, right? Score the basketball a little bit, do a couple things out there. 2-point range, 2.1 attempts, shot 58.6% from the floor, and had an EFG of 56.9%. So basically 57%. Free throw shooting on 1 attempt was 71.7%, so basically 72%. He has a career 73% free throw shooter, so good free throw shooter. Not great, anything like that, but he's good. Rebounding, right? 2.5 rebounds. He is a career 3 rebound a game guy. He is a career 1 offensive rebound a game guy. Again, a guy that gives you athleticism, that can chase down loose balls, that can, give you second chance opportunities, advantage points, just gives you some athleticism, some youth out there, which is what the Lakers really need, right? Lakers need youth, athleticism, right? Guys that can do the dirty work. And I think Isaac Okoro could be one of those guys for you. 1.5 assists, a steal, half a block, and 6.1 points per game. If you look at his per 36, again, per 36 doesn't tell tell you everything, doesn't give you the whole story, but it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of like, okay, what would that look like if he, was your kind of starter, playing starter level minutes in a starter level role. And what that would be is he would have been 12 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, a steal, and half a block per game. So again, guy that gives you some real production, a guy that I think could come in, slot in, play a role, whether it's off the bench or starting. You have him under contract for 2 years to kind of experiment with and look at. You could do just like a straight trade, like I said, a Maxi Kleba for, an Isaac Okoro. Obviously, you'd have to add other assets or something like that. Maybe you can even do a consolidation thing, right? Maybe you're doing Maxi Kleba and, a Dalton Connect and getting back an Isaac Okoro and then clearing off the salary spot or roster spot and clearing off salary to then go get a Bradley Beal or whatever, right? Like, again, there's multiple ways that the Lakers can approach this and attack this, but I think trying to go get a guy in Isaac Okoro, I do think makes sense for the Lakers, and I'd be more than happy to see him be a Laker. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.